Guys, welcome to the 3 Secrets to Reinvent Yourself by Tim Han. I saw this free seminar or webinar online and I was stricken by it. It was really good. I liked it. I liked the guy and I got the PDF, so I was thinking to share this with you also. And it's called the 3 Secrets to Reinvent Yourself. So, let's start. Are you excited to get started on this journey and really discover what it really takes to overcome your fears? Be able to dissolve toxic limiting beliefs that's been weighing you down in life? Well, who is this for? Busy professionals, entrepreneurs, speakers and coaches, psychologists and therapists, retirees, students, anyone who wants to break through their biggest blocks and reach success faster. This masterclass is for anyone who wants to break through their biggest blocks and reach success faster. So let me ask you, can you relate to the list on the slideshow? Have you ever found yourself wondering why you aren't as successful as you'd like to be? Are you lacking the crystal clarity on what you really want from life and how to get there? Have you ever put off the opportunity to pursue your goals or told yourself it's not the right time to go after them? Do you already know what path you want to take and what steps you need to get there? But it feels like an invisible force is holding you back from moving forward. It's because there are symptoms of the root cause problem and not the actual root cause problem itself. Isn't it true? It is the roots that grow the fruits. So, in order for you to change the fruits and change the result, you must get clear of the root cause issue. So, check out the slideshow below to see what you will uncover once you follow the 3 secrets to reinvent yourself today. So, one thing you need to know. There are 3 powerful secrets you need to follow to reinvent yourself and rapidly create the future you want. I'm going to walk you through exactly what those are today. You'll finally be able to overcome the fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs that's been weighing you down in your life right now. There is just one thing you've got to know right now. There are 3 secrets you've got to follow to rapidly reinvent yourself and create the future that you know you were born to live. 12 years of in-depth research into psychology, human behavior, neuroscience, cognitive behavioral therapy has gone into the creation of the rapid reinvention method. You're about to discover today. I'm going to walk you through this entire process. Are you ready for the new beginning today? Some of you may be new Success Insider, as well as myself, Tim Han. So let me quickly introduce myself. Who is Tim Han? World-renowned human behavior expert, coach, author, and international speaker. Founder of Success Insider, world's leading online transformational educational platform and the fastest growing personal growth YouTube channel across the globe in 2016. Collaborated with Grant Cardone, Tom Bilyeu, Vanessa Van Edwards, Ryan Serrant, etc., etc. Positively impacted the lives of over 40 million people across the globe. To date, we have been able to positively impact the lives of over 40 million people. Our ultimate mission and vision is to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. That's why I'm ever so glad we've crossed paths in this lifetime. In fact, can I be a little bit vulnerable right now? In hopes it will inspire you to truly make today day 1 of your life instead of postponing greatness to one day. I'd like to share with you the series of bad news and negative events that I experienced in my life that actually guided me to where I am today. I am originally born in Seoul, South Korea, and one of my youngest childhood memories was waking up in the middle of the night feeling terrified because I heard a loud scream that came from my mom. My parents were in the lounge and they were arguing again. This time it sounded so bad I began to hear furniture being knocked over, glass being smashed, Then I hear loud stomps. My real dad stomps out the house and slams the door shut, and that was the final time I ever saw my real dad in my life. Over the upcoming days, weeks and months, I saw my mom stressed and anxious as she could barely afford to put food on the table for me and my sister. I remember asking Mom, "What can I do to best support you?" She said to me, "Tim, please promise me, my son, you'll study hard, and one day you'll get a job to support us." I said, "I promise." But little did I know we had more bad news coming our way, because it was shortly after this, for our own safety, Mom decided to relocate us from South Korea to a very small town in England called Poole. I remember starting one day of school and just feeling like an alien. Nobody in the entire school had ever seen an Oriental guy in flesh before, so the violent racist bullies began picking on me. But I remember the promise I made to my mom, so I tried my best to study hard and ignore all the negativity, and after many months the teachers began to acknowledge me for the first time ever. They said, "Tim, please keep going. If you keep this going, one day you'll get a great job." Shortly after, things took a turn for the worst. I was walking home after a late night revision session. It was quite dark at night. All of a sudden I heard somebody shouting my name behind me. I turned around, my heart filled with fear. These were the violent racist bullies that will always pick on me out of school and pick out of me. All of a sudden, these bunch of guys begin to chase after me and I'm running for my life. The next thing I feel is a punch to my face, and my skull hits the concrete floor and I was knocked unconscious. I remember the moment I gained consciousness. I ran for my life. As soon as I got home, I remember locking the toilet door, looking at my bloody face in the mirror. I couldn't understand why. Over the upcoming days, over the upcoming weeks, and over upcoming months, because of the color of my skin, because of the size of my eyes, I kept on being told that I needed to go back to where I'm from, that I didn't deserve to be there, that I didn't deserve to be alive. After many years of enduring that pain, when I was starting high school, I simply had enough and I couldn't handle it anymore. I told myself, instead of being bullied, why don't I become the bully? That's when I made the worst decision of my life, to become one of them. Before you know it, I started to take drugs every single day, drinking alcohol every single day, and I was on the path to becoming my abusive dad. 4 years of high school breezed on. I remember this afternoon so clearly because my mom had a smile on her face for once, because the letter that just arrived from the door contained the qualifications I'll be graduating with. The moment I showed my mom the results, she walked out of the room crying with tears of disappointment. Because she knew I'd failed, I was forced to drop out of further education, that I was desperately looking for a job. No one would accept me. I was desperately looking for about 8 months. The only job I ended up getting was working as a toilet cleaner. I remember every single morning I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't understand how I got myself into this mess. The more down I felt, the more drugs I took. And the more drugs I took, the more down I felt. I couldn't see a way out. But this one evening was when everything changed for me. I was taking drugs in a wooden shed with my friends as we normally do. And all of a sudden I hear a loud knock on the door. I see the wooden door being yanked open with force. I see the next door neighbor's dad walking in with a furious red face. And behind him was my mom. He points out every single one of us and says, "I know exactly what you guys have been doing here. And it's going to end tonight." My mom looked at me and said, "Please, my son, can I take you on a walk?" It's during this walk my mom was trying to wake me up out of this vicious negative belief system I found myself stuck in. But it was too late. She was looking me in the eyes and saying, "Tim, where's my son? I've lost you. Where are you, Tim? Where have you gone?" I looked at my mom and said, "Mom, go away, I hate you." And I was about to walk away just like my real father did not too long ago. This was when she grabbed onto my shoulders. She began to shake me with tears streaming down her face. She said, "Tim, I was always there for you. When you were younger, I worked day and night just to put food on the table for you and your sister. The question is, Tim, when I'm older and I need you in my life, will you be there for me like I was there for you?" It was in this moment I woke up for the first time in my life. I made a commitment and promised to Mom that I will do everything and whatever it takes for me to change myself so I can truly help my mom. Over the upcoming weeks, I was just desperate, looking for ways for me to change my life. I was never smart, didn't have good grades, so I couldn't get a good job. One of these afternoons, I found myself on YouTube. I came across these successful people who've gone through far worse situations than me. They kept on talking about this subject I'd never heard about before, which was all about personal transformation. They started to share things to do with psychology, neuroscience, and cognitive behavioral therapy. I began to listen to it religiously. I began to do this inner work with different coaches I was working with, and for the first time ever, I began to cultivate self-belief that maybe I can make it happen. It's from this newfound hope and self-belief I had enough self-belief to create my own company. It was within the music event sector. It just felt unreal how my life was beginning to get better because I was getting better. It's from this small win I had in my life I decided to go all in. As I heard Warren Buffett say on a video, I found that the best investment you can ever make is to invest in yourself. So I decided to invest the profit I was earning from this business into me. I literally traveled across different countries, attending different seminars to do a personal transformation, self-reinvention. It was during this process I came across methodologies that I have never ever came across in books or YouTube videos before. It's through utilization of these powerful methods I finally began to cultivate the unstoppable power I was desperately seeking in my life. I was finally able to dissolve procrastination, self-doubt, unworthiness. Shortly after this, it's almost like the universe knew when I was ready, because it was around this time I came across a guy who was wanting to help with launching his health supplement company. I agreed to get involved with him. We ended up working day and night to launch his company. By the end of that year, we had generated over $1.3 million in revenue. In almost a blink of an eye, my life was finally changing because I was changing. It was around this time my friends from the past were reaching out to me saying, "Tim, you've always been this anxious guy. How were you able to do it?" So I thought, instead of me messaging everybody on Facebook, why don't I just randomly create a YouTube video and a YouTube channel and upload a video that explains the exact steps I took to reinvent myself? Little did I know that video would end up going viral. By the end of the year, we ended up reaching the lives of over 3.8 million people around the world. Then all of a sudden, I was being asked to speak at the House of Parliament in London. I was being invited to speak on stages all around the world. And at one of these events, one of the women stood up and said to me, "Your message needs to be heard." She ends up flying me out business class to meet the president of her country. That's how I got to meet the president of Ghana, to discuss how we can change our children out of the third world countries so they truly believe in their worth and can feel unstoppable in their life. It felt unreal. And the people I was looking up to online wanted to connect with me as well. But I'll tell you, this defining moment meant the most to me. I sat on the plane and the next to me was my mom. We were heading home back to Seoul, South Korea, for the first time since moving to the UK 19 years ago. I paid all the expenses for the entire family to go on this life-changing trip back to South Korea, and it felt surreal. I remember my mom was looking out of the window and she looked back into the cabin and looked at me in the eyes. She said to me with tears in her eyes, "My son, I know it was hard, but I just want to say thank you. We've done it. We have done it." What I'm trying to say to you is if I can do it. If our students from all around the world can do it, you can definitely do it too. That's why I'm ever so thankful we have crossed paths in this lifetime. How many of us are ready to truly discover what it takes to let go of the things that has been weighing us down for our life? Let go of this procrastination, of the fears. This is what we're about to walk you through right now, step by step. With that said, let's go into secret number 1. Awareness. Let me ask you, do you ever feel like you're in the car with one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake? You're trying to move forward, but you're procrastinating. You're trying to move forward, but you're doubting yourself. You're trying to move forward, but you're lacking the clarity. In fact, have you ever experienced self-sabotage before? I used to experience this all the time. I used to work really hard when I mess it up. Then I'm messing up really bad. Then I pick it up back. Then I'm working hard. Life is looking good again. Then I mess it up. I'm messing up really bad. Then I pick it up back again. So it was like a vicious circle. It felt like I was a hamster on a wheel. Can you relate? Would you like to know why, as a human being, we experience this in our life? The root cause of self-sabotage is because at the moment we were born, we begin to create belief system of how the world works, so that we can refer it to the future in order to better our chances of survival and replication. Your belief system is simply a record of the past, kind of like an old filing cabinet filled with different documents. So your brain is a filing cabinet, and documents you're putting into the filing cabinet is called a belief system. Now, think about it. When you're born, who gives you the first set of documents to put into your brain? Your family does. Your family has a huge impact on what you believe is true today. Isn't that right? What you believe is true about money, what you believe is true about love, what you believe is true about your health is impacted by how you were conditioned by your family growing up. Then we go to school, we meet friends. You begin to dress like your friends. You begin to talk like your friends. And you begin to behave like your friends. Then we get conditioned and programmed in a different culture. In fact, if you actually look at the dictionary definition of the word culture, it's fascinating. This is a dictionary definition of the word culture. Shared patterns of behavior and interactions, cognitive constructs and understanding that are learned by socialization. Thus, it can be seen as a growth of a group identity fostered by social patterns unique to a group. Simply put, we're all in a cult. Because, think about it, if I'm born in Japan and I'm going to think and act differently compared to somebody born in America, I'm going to like even different dishes simply due to how I was culturally conditioned. This is not the woo-woo talk. This is proven psychologists all over around the world. The theory of epigenetics says how the environment dramatically influences expressions of your genes. Here's another theory, stereotype threat. This phenomenon was coined by leading scientist Stephen Spencer, who explained that when people believe they are part of a social group that doesn't succeed in a certain area, they match their performance so it leaves the same outcome. Isn't that crazy? No wonder we are so confused. No wonder we are lacking clarity. It's because we have got so many different documents from the past that's in this thing called the brain that's weighing us down. In fact, can I share with you a quick story? Imagine if this child is called Jack. Do you remember a point in your childhood when you were freer? Free of inner worries, free of stress, free of doubt, or free of confusion? In fact, no child is ever born lacking clarity. You probably want to remember that. Lacking clarity is a learned behavior. So, Jack doesn't lack clarity. He knows that what his purpose is. His purpose is to build his own cars. That's his dream. One day, he finds himself in a toy store. He picks up a box of toys for inspiration, for his dream, but little does Jack know his dad has had a really bad day at work. And his boss has been shouting at Jack's dad all day long. So Jack's dad looks at Jack and he thinks his son is about to run away with a box of toys again. He grabs Jack and says, "No, you're not good enough for that. You've been a bad boy today. Don't go for what you want. Go back to the car. We're going to go home right now." It seems like a small deal, but Jack has begun to file a document to his brain in terms of what it really means to pursue his dreams. So he grows up wondering, why am I lacking clarity? Why do I not know what I'm doing with my life? Why am I saying to myself that I'm not good enough? This belief system becomes a manual for how to think and behave in different situations. And it is these beliefs from the past that's controlling your human behavior today. Since a belief generates a thought, which then generates a feeling, which then generates action and then your results. So imagine right now you believe, "I am not good enough." What thoughts might that generate? You might say, "I can't do it." If you say to yourself, "I can't do it," how are you going to feel? You're going to feel worthless. If you feel worthless, are you going to take massive action? Definitely not. You're going to resort into inaction, which results in procrastination. If you resort to procrastination, what reality does that create for you? You're just going to create a one disappointing reality. If you see disappointing reality, what does that reaffirm back to your mind? That you're definitely not good enough. Are you beginning to see why most people get stuck in life? Would you like to see another example? Imagine right now, you believe times are tough. What thoughts might that generate? "I've got to play it safe," right? You're not going to be showing up as you normally do. You're going to be coming from scarcity. True or true? If you're coming from scarcity, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel like you're scared. If you're fearing what might happen, are you going to take action? Definitely not. You are going to resort to procrastination. If you procrastinate every single day, what reality does that create for you? You're going to be struggling to make your ends meet. If you're struggling to make the ends meet, what's that going to reaffirm back to your subconscious? That the times definitely must be tough. When in reality, your limiting beliefs have become a self-fulfilling prophecy just for you. This is why people end up getting stuck. Because you'll always behave in ways that are literally congruent, consistent with your beliefs. Your belief sets you up to experience the exact thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that make your beliefs become a reality. That means the current state of your wealth, health, and relationships and life is in absolute alignment and direct proportion to what you believe is true, consciously and subconsciously. Meaning, if you're not where you'd like to be in your life, there's a really good chance that you're gripping too tightly onto the past, limiting beliefs that are no longer serving you. There are so many limiting beliefs that we have in our life that we have got to bring to our conscious awareness. See if any of the limiting beliefs listed on the slideshow below resonates with you. Example of limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. There is never enough time. Money is bad and not that important. I might do it wrong. I'm going to end up alone. I don't know what I want. If it hasn't happened yet, it will never happen. People can't be trusted and aren't reliable. I'm just not lucky. I'm too old, young to... It's too late for me to... I don't have enough resources. I don't know where to start. I don't have the right skill sets. I don't have anything to add. It's been done before. I won't be loved. I am too afraid. Because if you do not eliminate these limiting beliefs in your life, things get much worse. You will end up subconsciously reaffirming a belief in your mind And when you reaffirm a belief in your mind, it creates your identity. And since your human behavior will never deviate from its internal mapping, you will truly feel stuck. In fact, the word identity was originally derived from the Latin word essentiatus, which means being, and identidem, which means repetitively. In fact, the word identity was originated from Latin, and all your identity means is just repeated beingness. So if you are perceiving a reality with the same belief system, the same beliefs every single day, and you are reacting to the same circumstance in your life as you normally do, then the results in your environment aren't changing because you are not changing. Wouldn't you agree? So, if you're waking up in the morning and running through the same routines, thoughts, choices, behaviors, experiences that produce the same results, and you keep doing that over and over again, it's going to become a subconscious habit, right? Therefore, eventually, your entire state of being will be programmed into a very predictable future based on what you've experienced in the past. Are you beginning to see why most people can't change their life? Knowing that your beliefs have created your identity and your beliefs are not yours in the first place. It's just random documents that's been filed into your brain. It means who you believe right now is not actually you. It's who you learn to be. And the person you learn to be is the version of you that's actually making you self-sabotage your own success. Here's a quick example. Imagine if all your life you have been told that you are an apple tree. Pears represent better wealth, better health, and better relationships. Can you all of a sudden attract pears? If you believe you're an apple tree, definitely not. What if you come across a really fancy mantra video on YouTube? You know, the meditation mantra videos. Imagine you sat there on your orange meditation mat with your eyes closed. You began to say loud, pears, pears, pears. Can you all of a sudden attract pears? Definitely not. What do you need to do in order for you to grow pears? You got to let go of who you have learned to be and become who you are born to be. Because who you believe you are right now determines how you act, and how you act determines what you get in your life. So if every day you're viewing yourself in the same way, thinking the same way, feeling the same way, and acting the same way, and yet expecting things to change, wouldn't you agree now it makes sense why most people fail to change their life? So, to summarize, understand that you can't create a new future whilst you're holding on to your past limiting beliefs. As Lao Tzu once said, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Alright, that was secret number 1. I will continue with secret number 2 in the next video. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and join my new skin team.